Today, it's time for one of science fiction's most beloved series to experience one of science fiction's biggest tropes, as we ask the question, what would the world of Firefly be like if the Browncoats had won the Unification War? This is Firefly Versus.
I'm a geek. I use pop bubbles when I speak. I'm a freak because Jesus he died for me. I'm unique. There is only one of me. I'm complete, so I really don't care what you think of me. I'm a geek.
Hello there, Comic Clan, and welcome to Comics on the Cross, the greatest YouTubers you've never heard of. I'm Cross, and today we are checking out the brand new one-shot Firefly Versus from Boom Studios. But before we get started, if you are enjoying the content from Comics on the Cross, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos from us. And also go ahead and click that like button, as it really does help us out here on YouTube. I cannot tell you how excited I am for today's review. Firefly is one of my all-time favourite TV shows, and I absolutely love the comics that have been continuing the story for our favourite outlaws. In case you weren't aware, the Firefly TV series and the movie Serenity got to continue on, as so many franchises do, in comic book form. Originally they were published by Dark Horse Comics, but in 2018 Boom Studios gained the rights to the property, and honestly it got a brand new lease on life ever since then. Boom Studios gave it a brand new ongoing series, at least 3 miniseries have come out, and way too many one-shots to count. And it is my absolute honour to get to review my very first Firefly one-shot today. Firefly Versus is written by Ryan Parrott with artwork from Lalit, Kumar, Sharma. Colours are by Francesco, Segala, with additional colouring from Gloria, Martinelli, and lettering from Jim Campbell. In this one-shot, it looks at the universe of Firefly in an alternative timeline, and simply asks the question of what the universe would look like if the Browncoats had won the Unification War. Let's jump into this issue and find out. Our issue begins by opening on a scene that all fans of Firefly will know all too well. We're in the heart of the battle for Serenity Valley, with the Alliance bearing down on the Browncoats. Sergeant Malcolm Reynolds is trying to rally his troops to keep pushing, and that backup will be there shortly. He and his right hand Zoe head towards a gunner station as he takes the weapon to shoot down an enemy skiff that is bearing down on them, but the gun jams, and he is unable to fire on it. It looks like it's about to take them out when all of a sudden it is shot out of the sky. The Browncoats reinforcements have arrived and help them begin to push back the Alliance and take back Serenity Valley. From here we jump forward 6 years to a universe that is governed by the coalition of planets. We start off on the planet Hera and see a group of thieves led by a man named Dobson attempting to rob a granary. But as they blow open the doors, the coalition are waiting for them. A small group of soldiers led by Major Malcolm Reynolds and Sergeant Zoe Elena. As Mal sarcastically berates Dobson and his crew for attempting to rob a granary of all places, and on their failed diversion tactic to distract him, Dobson pulls out a knife and attempts to attack Mal, but is shot by Zoe and killed. Mal then makes an offer to Dobson's men, that the first to give them information on any of their friends will get to live, while the others will end up like Dobson. As Mal and Zoe make their way to meet with Senator Melies, Zoe states concerns that she has. They were robbing a granary out of desperation, as it is well known the core worlds are rife with crime and poverty. People are suffering and the coalition doesn't seem to be doing anything to help. Mal toes the company a line though, stating if they don't like the cost of things then they shouldn't have started the war. And although it's not a perfect system, he reassures her it's better than how things would have been under the Alliance. They meet with Senator Melies and his wife Inara Sarah Melies, a former Alliance supporting companion turned politician. The Senator provides them with a brief for their next mission: to hunt down the terrorist and war criminal the Royal Book, an activist that stayed off the grid until he broke into a top secret facility and stole something, although the senator can't disclose what that something is. Mal and Zoe travel to Veristeel Skyplex, a safe haven for criminals and outlaws. They travel there on the CSS Shadow Lynx, which is captained by Patience Monroe, who isn't too happy about being taken off of her assignment to do this. She puts the operatives in the care of her commander, Hoban Washburn. While heading to the shuttle bay, Washburn continuously talks and asks about their significant others, to which Mal informs him that Zoe is single. As the commander talks about soon becoming a captain in his own right, Zoe apparently takes it as him flirting and pins him to the wall, suggesting he stay focused on the mission. But if he shaves the mustache, they'll talk. On the Veristeel Skyplex, Mal and Zoe offer a cash reward of 50,000 credits to anyone that can get them to the Ryle book. No one perks up, except for the owner of the Skyplex, Lady Kwanette Lee Fry. She advises the operatives that Book left the Skyplex about 2 days ago with some of his supporters. Mal isn't buying it though, and decides to toss the 50,000 credits into the air in the middle of the bar, and all the patrons scramble to get the money. All that is except for one man in the back, sitting facing the corner. They approach and he removes his hood, revealing that it is the Royal Book. But as he begins to address them, Zoe is attacked by Jane Cobb, and the two have a fist fight. Lady Fry then pulls a gun on Zoe and Mal, taking them hostage as they look to make their escape. They leave the Skyplex on the Shan Liang Day, blowing it up in the process to damage the Shadow Lynx and stop them from pursuing. Unfortunately, their ship also takes damage in the blast too, and Lady Fry advises they head for her homestead on Kolonshi, as her parents won't be there and she can get the spare parts that she needs to repair the ship. Book tells her, "We are forever in your debt, Lady Fry," to which she replies, "If we're going to be outlaws together, you can call me Kaylee." Jane is tasked with guarding Mal and Zoe. Mal attempts to bribe him, promising rewards in return for freeing them and helping them capture Book. Jane declines, however, saying that this isn't the first time that he's been offered a deal like this by the Coalition, and last time he actually took them up on it. But when he led his group into a trap, not only were they not just arrested and gunned down, but he was gunned down along with them and left for dead. The only reason he's still alive today is because Book was the one that pulled him out and patched him up. On Kolonshi, Kaylee shows the group her collection of ships and ship parts that she has acquired over many years. Mal points out one in particular that is covered by a tarp, and Kaylee states that it wasn't treated well in the war, but no matter how often she takes parts out of it and whatever she does to it, it just keeps on flying. As they make repairs, we see Senator Melius contact Captain Monroe and Commander Washburn. They are given the task of retrieving the stolen item from the Ryle Book and his followers, as the Senator can't be sure that Mal and Zoe aren't compromised. He says that the cargo is all that is important, and if you have to eliminate Mal and Zoe to complete their mission, then so be it. Book decides to tell Mal and Zoe his story. He tells them that after what he did during the war, he was actually grateful that it finally came to an end, and hoped that the Coalition could be something better than what had come before. And at first it seemed like it certainly was. It seemed like it was something different, but then the rumours began. People started talking about corruption and exploitation within the government. Seeing that they are unfazed, Book decides to provide them with proof and kicks open the top secret container to reveal a man inside. The man's name is Simon Tam. As he awakens, his sister River runs in to comfort him. River explains to Mal and Zoe that after the war her family lost everything. Their mother got sick, Their father was killed, and Simon and River were children left alone to survive on the streets. But when they got older, Simon agreed to be a test subject for the government in exchange for food and shelter for both of them. Book makes a final plea with them to see the truth, that the Coalition is just as corrupt as the Alliance ever was, and that neither side is better than the other. Mal fully rebukes this idea, refusing to accept that the ideals that he fought for could have become so corrupted. He grabs a knife and holds it to Book's throat, taking him hostage and tells Zoe to get Jane's gun, as they're coming with him. Zoe does take Jane's gun, but she points it at Mal. Zoe tries to plead with him now that they can't live on faith, but they have to see things as the way they truly are. And it's clear that they are on the wrong side. As this face-off is happening, the CSS Shadowlynx enters Colonshi's atmosphere, and Coalition troops prepare to take the Fry estate and everyone that's inside. Zoe suggests putting Mal in the hangar so they can arm themselves and fight their way to the Shangliang D. They fight hard, and just as it looks like they're going to make it to the ship, it's destroyed right in front of them, and Book is fatally wounded in the explosion. As what's left of the group prepares for their final stand, the ship that Kaylee had talked about in the hangar, the Firefly ship, with Mal at the helm, descends on the group and evacuates them from the planet. Captain Monroe's ship prepares to fire on the Firefly when all of a sudden Commander Washburn states he is unable to fire, and the ensign confirms that there's a cascade system failure stopping all of their major systems. As the captain loses her mind and rants that it must be sabotage, we see a smirk form in the face of Washburn, showing that he may have had something to do with what happened. As the issue comes to a close, Mal reflects on his revelation of what the Coalition truly is compared to what he believed it to be. He laments on whether their friends that died in the war have in the end died for nothing, and if they slayed the monster of the Alliance only to become the monster themselves. Zoe disagrees, believing that they have a lot to make up for, but now they have a ship, a crew, and a people that need looking after. The crew discuss names for their new home and decide that it should be called Shepherd. I absolutely loved this one shot. I completely enjoyed every part of this story and got completely immersed in it. Also, I don't know why I liked it so much, but I very much enjoyed the restraint that Parrott used in exploring a world where the Browncoats won the war. It could have been so easy to go absolutely crazy with an alternative world where everything is different, or tell a story of what happens if this version of the Serenity crew are evil, like in the Mirror Universe in Star Trek. But he honestly shows a real understanding of the source material for Firefly, and realizing that just changing the winners of the Unification War creates the opportunity to explore an amazing new version of this world. One that has unique takes on characters and seeing how they are different depending on the new experiences they have had. I also love that we still follow Mal and Zoe and what happens after the Battle of Serenity Valley. Kind of like we see in the TV show, before we start to branch out and follow more of the crew. But that everyone gets to be part of this story and show up at some point in it. In fact, as a Firefly fan, one of the fun things in reading this was the fact that you never knew what crew member you were going to see next or where they would pop up in the story. Not to mention the fact of all the different Easter eggs that you would get within the book, whether they be characters or references such as not realizing who Senator Meles is until Mal mentions his nickname of Badger while placing his bowler hat on his head, or Dobson, the leader of the thieves at the start of the issue, being the name of the Alliance officer from the first episode of the show that's hunting Simon and River Tam. Captain Monroe is Patience, one of the people Mal attempts to do business with in that same episode. And then even things like references to the crybaby distress beacon being used against the coalition that we see happening within the show as well. I could honestly talk about the writing of this book so much, but I want to make sure to mention the art of it as well. Sharma's art, along with the colours of Segala and Martinelli, just do such an amazing job of bringing this world to life. I felt completely immersed, and at no point did I feel like anything took me out of the story. I also realised that some of the pages and panels had an overlay of a single colour on top of them, kind of like you were looking at them through a lens. But it honestly just highlighted the emotions going on in the panels, at least that's what I felt like it was doing. And it didn't take away everything from the story to the art all melded together to grab my attention and keep me invested. Honestly, if you're a Firefly fan, then I highly recommend checking out Firefly Versus for yourself. There's so much packed in there for fans, and I don't think that you'll be disappointed. I also recommend it for those that aren't fans of Firefly. I think it's still a great story, it's still worth reading, but 100% you won't get as much out of it as a Firefly fan. It's definitely built for those that know the story inside and out. But by all means, I suggest go and check out the show, read the comics and get caught up so that you can understand everything in it. But then again, that's kind of my suggestion for most people, is to go and check out Firefly. But speaking also as a full Browncoat and Firefly fan, I may have been easily swayed in how much I enjoyed this. But why not go and check it out for yourself and let me know if that's what you think. But that's it for me for today. Are you a fan of Firefly? Did you check out this one shot for yourself? Also, what do you think of what Boom Studio has been doing with the property so far? Have you been enjoying it since they took over the comics? Let us know that in the comments below, and also any other comics you want to see us cover here on the channel. If you're interested, be sure also to check out our Patreon, where you get early access to our reviews, and also our Indie Comic Book Club and behind the scenes of Let's Talk Comics, all released over there before they drop here on YouTube. But that's it for me. Take care, and remember, it is a good week to be a geek. We'll see you all next time. Peace.